I realised with mild panic that we were just a couple of minutes off being late back to the car. It was also lunchtime by this point, and I had packed nothing by way of substantial food in my bag, so I decided we'd have to hot-foot it back to the car and grab a sandwich or similar en route. Whatever we did, we'd have to be super quick. As I did the hassled parent walk, dragging the boys behind me, the first foodie place we came to was a bakery, and the pair of them were quick to stop and point out the absolutely ginormous iced buns in the window. "I'll get one of those for you both, but what else do you want? Something savoury?" I asked them, which was met with a nothing from Henry and a primal chant of "cake, cake, cake" from Jude, who can't yet comprehend waiting and calms down only when the desired unhealthy food item is in his hands. So, against my better judgment, I bought them both one of the enormous iced buns, plus one for me, which I let them carry back to the car in their individual paper bags. At the car park, our time was well and truly up, and a parking attendant was prowling, completely scuppering my plan for us to eat our buns on the nearby grass before hitting the road. We had to leave immediately, and there was absolutely no way I could tell the boys to wait until we got home to eat their cakes. You know what's coming, don't you? Yes, bad planning and an unwise decision in the bakery left me driving back down the M5 with a 1-year-old and 4-year-old demolishing iced buns in their car seats. The sound effects were astounding. Jude was practically inhaling his at one point, snorting like a pig as he ploughed through the icing with both his hands and his mouth, as if he'd never been fed. Henry was almost as bad, only he had the vocabulary to tell me, mid-mouthful, that he was also really thirsty. After a quick stop for petrol, plus 2 bottles of fruit shoot, and just a few miles later, I caught sight of Jude in the rearview mirror. I'm amazed I didn't crash. His entire face, including his ears and his hair, was encrusted with icing, like a kind of Father Christmas icing beard. In his equally sticky hand, he was holding his fruit shoot bottle upside down, and casual as you like, was shaking it over his legs and onto the car seat in a kind of sugary squash rain shower, much to the delight of his brother, who was also caked in icing, but knew better than to deliberately spill his drink on the car's upholstery. "Jude, no. Stop doing that, you're making everything wet," I pleaded. But the sight of him looking like some kind of feral sugar monster was so ridiculous it made me laugh, which in turn made both the boys giggle. "Wet, wet, wet," Jude chortled gleefully from the back seat. And after concluding that taking my eyes off the road posed a greater risk to the welfare of our family than iced car seats, I left him to it, closing the windows in favour of turning on the aircon, because I was, by this point, chauffeuring 2 living wasp magnets. When James asked how our day had been, expecting that it would have been a bad one, following my apprehension in the morning, I told him that we'd had a great day, with the only negative being that I'd fed them nothing but sugar for lunch, which meant we'd have to clean their teeth for at least an extra minute. I would never applaud iced buns and bottled kids' drinks as lunch substitutes. Obviously, if I did, it would make me irresponsible. But every now and again, a mum's got to do what a mum's got to do to keep the peace, and today, that is what I had to do. Anyway, truly crummy mummies wouldn't worry about tooth decay, would they? Perhaps I'm only a semi-crummy mummy. If this diary becomes a book, we ought to consider that as the strapline. A year in the life of a semi-crummy mummy. Friday the 4th. I have never felt as much of a grown-up as I did this morning, sat around the hastily cleaned dining table for the first ever meeting with my accountant. The very fact that I have an accountant is making me feel all businesswoman-like. I did wonder if I should put on a blouse or something resembling workwear, but as the meeting was at my house, that might have been weird. And to all intents and purposes, the trusty jeans and jumper combo is my workwear nowadays, given that my work is being a mum and writing about it. Granted, I do occasionally get paid to write about other stuff, but it never requires me to don a shift dress for a presentation in a boardroom, and is instead, more often than not, executed under the comfort of our sofa blanket. Anyway, not 1 but 2 accountants came around today, and we chatted about all manner of exhilarating things like expenses, VAT, and certificates of